Welcome to City on a Hill Gaming, a tabletop RPG actual play podcast. To find out more, download episodes wherever you get podcasts, or visit us online at cityonahillgaming.com, or by sending us an email at cityonahillgaming@gmail.com. You can also support us on patreon.com/cityonahillgaming. We hope you enjoy our show. Welcome back to City on a Hill Gaming, and welcome to Kingmaker, where the party has leveled up, and it is time for a fight Cameron and I are both worried about, which is going to be fine. I'm excited.
I'm chill.
Emma's just wants to fight.
I'm just here for a good time. I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
Emma's just ready to do the thing. So
I'm ready for a TPK anytime.
Yeah. Lord help us if that happens. I would feel bad if the first time in City on a Hill history I killed a character, I killed all of them.
It's all or nothing, man.
6 years in. Why not? So, it is just the three of Emma and Cameron and Ben this evening due to some scheduling conflicts. But they want to fight the boss, so we're going to fight the boss. Yeah. And I'm sure it'll be fine. Probably. Probably. It'll be fine. So, before we do that, because in between sessions they did level up, and yes, if you are familiar with 2nd edition Kingmaker, you may be saying, Ryan, it's not time to level up yet. To you I say, you're right. That said, this fight scares me, which most fights scare me, and I still end up losing pretty quickly and doing almost no damage, so it's probably fine. But just to be safe, they have leveled to level 2 a little early, and are now ready to fight Mira and the remaining Black Tears bandits, while Lady Jamandi fights 2 Frost Giants, 2v1. But if I understand Overwatch correctly, a DPS can fight 2 tanks at once and probably still win. So, it's fine. My apologies to the game devs. That shot at your mechanics currently is not fair. You're working on it, and we understand that. So, before we get into the fighties, Cameron, tell me what you added to Ezek for level 2.
Okay, so across the board, there's kind of some like HP increases, stuff like that. So some various like stat ups and stuff like that. So skipping over those,
yes,
just for the sake of not wanting to have to like flip between all of them. But Ezek is beefier, he's tankier, stuff like that, and hits a little bit more often. So for Magus at level 2, it's not necessarily anything crazy. As like a spell casting class, I think level 3 will have a lot of cool stuff to talk about. So
yes,
I picked up 2 things. I got a skill feat and a class feat. So for my skill feat, I picked up Catfall, which makes it so that you can treat the first 10 feet of a fall, or treat falls as if they're 10 feet shorter. And then as I become trained in acrobatics or more trained in acrobatics, that value goes up to where eventually you could jump off of any height. And so listeners may recall that I mentioned this last time. Ezek is Eivor coded from Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And so this feat is like right up that of like
climb thing, jump off thing.
Find thing, jump off thing,
right?
Land on enemy thing,
right?
And so
the main mechanic of those games.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever actually, because I have to become like an expert, or I have to become legendary in acrobatics to get that, and I don't know if I'm gonna ever actually get there.
We'll find out.
Just with a skill increase,
right?
But like, and so that was my first feat, or that's my skill feat.
Skill feat, right?
And then for my class feat, I took expansive spell casting, or expansive spell strike. There we go. So one of the limitations of the Magus in 2E is that you can only cast spells that have an on hit roll. So like a roll to hit.
Oh,
so
like only cast them at all
through spell strike.
Through spell strike. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You can cast any spell, but if you want to spell strike a spell, it must be
an on hit.
And like roll to hit versus a save from an enemy.
Oh, it can't even be those. Okay, interesting.
Yeah. And so expansive spell strike changes that. And so now it makes it so that I can spell strike with spells that have like range of effects. So so if I can spell strike with a spell that is a cone, and then the cone erupts out from the target that I hit.
Okay.
And then it also makes it so that I can spell strike with abilities that they just have to be a harmful spell that can target a creature or has an area of burst, cone, or line.
This seems bad for me.
Yeah, so definitely it ups the options of what I can do spells wise. I preemptively had already taken Burning Hands as one of my spells, and I knew I was going to take this feat, and so
hit with sword, cone of fire, erupt. Sure, okay.
Yeah, and so
or not sword,
I don't necessarily know like how actually good this is going to be.
No, I love it. I think it's great.
But it just gives Ezek a lot more options for what kind of spells I can take. And so even if I don't necessarily use it a lot. So
okay. I modified Matt's fighter, the sort of gladiatorial pro wrestler fighter. His class feat is something called Brutish Shove, which technically you tend to be wielding a two-handed melee weapon. He wields no weapons, so I've decided I don't care and he can use it.
His weapon is his two hands.
Yes, catch things. It basically allows him to treat creatures like if you hit a creature, they become flat-footed until the end of your current turn, and you automatically shove the creature. And it just seemed like a very pro wrestling, like run up and just like slam somebody. And then his skill feat is something called Quick Jump. You can use high jump and long jump as a single action instead of two actions. And if you do, you don't perform the initial stride, nor do you if you don't stride 10 feet. So basically means he can like long or high jump without a running start, and it only takes one action. Which just seemed like a good agility thing to have for his build. Emma, tell me about Kirpley at level 2.
Level 2 took an Order Explorer feat. So basically, her main druid order is the Storm Order.
Okay.
But then she like branched out a little bit into the Wave Order. So she gets the additional feat from that of Shore Step, which basically the description says the shallows and tide pools have always called to you and let you pass unhindered. You ignore difficult terrain resulting from shallow water. In addition, if you roll a success on an acrobatics check to balance on a slippery or wet surface, or on an athletics check to swim, you get a critical success instead.
Very nice. Okay.
General
purpose
terrain thing.
Yeah.
And then took Intimidating Glare as my other feat.
Very storm. Okay, good.
Yes.
It's so scary. It's a little foggy.
It's so squarey.
Squarey, angry, foggy.
It's a cute little thing until it licks its eyeball at you.
Thanks, I hate it.
Exactly.
It's so unsettling.
Which is technically a gecko thing, but I'm making it work because they're both reptiles.
I hate it either way. Unsettling. Which means it's working.
Yes, that is the point. You can demoralize with a mere glare. When you do, demoralize loses the auditory trait and gains the visual trait. And you don't take a penalty if the creature doesn't understand your language.
Oh no.
Nice.
So basically I can glare someone
into feeling bad.
And have it be successful.
Okay.
So those are the feats, and then like a spell, like getting to take on a new spell, which was Gust of Wind.
Okay, very nice. For David's Ranger, his class feat is Hunter's Aim, and when you focus on aiming, your attack becomes particularly accurate. Ranged weapon strike, you get a +2 circumstance bonus on the attack roll, and you ignore concealment. And then his skill feat is Acrobatic Performer. When you're an incredible acrobat, invoking wonder and enrapturing audiences with your prowess is almost a performance. You can roll an acrobatics check instead of a performance check when using the perform action. Be flippy. Be very flippy. And he is a Cloud Leaper lizard folk, so this makes sense. Very, very flippy. Rixelbrats. Grizzly Snacks. Grizarmanax. Level 2.
Level 2 is going to be interesting. And I am going to start right now by saying this might change by the next time we record.
That's fine. No judgment.
No, I am. So I'm just making it easy real quick. I'm doing cantrip expansion as my bard skill, bard upgrade, whatever. And as far as basically it just means I gain 2 cantrip to be able to use. So I get more toys to play with Ryan.
Yes. Oh no.
And as opposed to the other feats that I get, which would also be a skill feat, so a bard feat and a skill feat.
Correct.
I am still playing with that skill feat at the moment.
Okay.
It probably won't even come into use. So.
Okay. Yeah. All good. Okay, so when you guys left off last time, you entered a room in Lady Jamondi's manor that is called the Dueling Chamber. And apropos, she is dueling herself 2 frost giants. And as about the time you walked in, the Black Tears also walked in. And you had a lovely conversation and deeply angered a lady named Mira because you kept getting her name wrong. You called her, I think, everything but Mira. And she did not appreciate that. So she and the Black Tears would like to rumbles. They would like to throws down. And as you enter the room, from behind you, because you guys are moving out of A22 and into A23, you have successfully moved into A23. Grizzly Snacks, Ezek, and Grizzly. And hold on, Ryan need to measure something. Yeah, that what Ryan needed to measure. Whoop. I think he's standing on a table now. Ignore that. That's fine. A couple more Black Tears bandits appear behind you in A20, and Bootsy and David's character, who I don't think actually has a name yet. We need to name David's character, his ranger, and Laquarian, Matt's fighter, and Finn, which is Kim's character, are going to stay behind and fight them, some Black Tears members, quite literally 1v1 in a 4v4. 4v4 me bro. And so Grizzly Snacks, Ezek, and Kerpley will now engage in hopefully not Mortal Kombat against the bandit friends, for they are bandits and therefore would like to fight you, I guess. Mira's just mad you got her name wrong, but in her world that's a good enough reason to fight. So
Yep.
Do you, queen? No judgments. So she yells that this is enough of this nonsense. Lady Jamondi stops what she's doing. Ezek, she makes eye contact with you, kind of gives you the you good look.
They will tell tales of tonight as magic begins coursing through Ezek's great axe.
Lady Jamondi smiles, thumbs up, stabs a frost giant, and goes back to what she's doing. I believe in you. And so, initiative, which this is Pathfinder 2nd edition, and initiative is different. Initiative is not based on traditional initiative. It is based on other skills. And I remembered that much and forgot everything else. How did I do that?
So yeah, broadly speaking, it's your perception.
Right.
Yep.
Like there are situations where your initiative could be something else. So for example, if we were sneaking, stealth could have been our initiative.
This is true.
But when in doubt, it is
perception.
Perception.
Thank you for that. And it turns out Mira's perception's really good.
Oh.
So that seems fine for me. I'm sure that'll be okay. On the plus side, the Black Tear Bandit's perception is
pretty solid perception. So
show it to me. Oh yeah, the Black Tear Bandit's perception's awful. So
I don't know about y'all, but my initiative is 22.
I mean, that's pretty good.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22.
I may not like Taylor Swift, but I do know her stuff.
Hashtag Swifty podcast, I guess.
Razzle Smacks is 20.
Rebel Smacks is a 20. Okay.
Ezek is 10.
Do I count as a Swiftie if I stayed up till midnight to listen to the album come out and download the songs if I was doing it for work?
Yeah, you were up.
Like, it was a professional requirement was to get the songs for the next day from my boss to be able to play them on the radio. But I definitely listened to like 3 of them because I had to. And now we're playing. I don't remember which ones. 2 or 3 of them, I think. Okay, so Mira will be first in initiative. Emma will be second. I will proceed with writing down some people's real names and some people's character names, like I always do.
As you should.
Ben will be third. Cameron will be fourth. And then the Black Tier Bandits will go last, because they rolled pretty badly, actually. So yeah. Cameron, for no particular reason, what is Ezek's armor class?
It's 17 now that I have leveled up.
Okay. Cameron, for no particular reason, what is Ezek's HP?
30.
Okay. That's an acceptable number. Good answer.
Yeah. Yeah. I got a whopping 11 HP from leveling up. So.
Bruh. So wait, like con mod and stuff?
Yeah.
Let's see. She is displeased, and she will order her bandits to fight you. But she's gonna glare a lot and not move right away. She is gonna hold her action. And
also, I don't want to be that person, but doesn't Kerpley have like the intimidating stare thing?
Oh no.
I do.
Kerpley does have a. Okay, hold on. Let Ryan Google things. Is it actually called intimidating stare? Glare. There we go.
Yes.
You can demoralize with a mere glare. And Kerpley is trained in intimidation as a skill.
I am checking my list. Where is yes?
Bueno. Okay. So it is technically Emma's turn now.
Sorry. Yes, I was there's another thing that you can intimidate at the start of initiative. This is a different thing.
Okay, yeah,
I was confusing this with a different ability.
Oh, they let you do it right away?
Yeah.
Oh, that seems deeply frustrating. Okay. And
it's also a thing that I can do within 30 feet.
Okay.
And they are right outside they're at 35 feet. So
for the purpose of the audience and me, in Pathfinder, demoralize means with a sudden shout or a cutting put down, or in this case, a deeply unsettling glare. You can shake an enemy's resolve. Choose a creature within 30 feet of you who you are aware of. Sure. Attempt an intimidation check against that target's will DC. If the target doesn't understand the language you are speaking, which doesn't apply to Emma because hers is visual, we'll skip that part. Regardless of your result, the target is temporarily immune to your attempts to demoralize it for 10 minutes. On a success, they become frightened. Frightened 1, excuse me. On a critical success, they become frightened 2.
Dun, dun, dun.
And that means they are gripped by fear. They take a status penalty equal to the value. The frightened condition always includes a value. They take a status penalty equal to this value to all checks and DCs unless specified otherwise. At the end of each of your turns, the value of your frightened condition is decreased by 1. So if they become frightened 1, they take a penalty of 1 to all their rolls. Which seems bad for me and good for you. So Emma, what will Kerpley do with her turn?
I would like to lick my eyeball at them.
I hate it. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Thusly do the currently discussed thing.
Intimidating glare, no.
Yes.
Oh, that's so unsettling. Make me an intimidation check. Tell me who you're intimidating first.
The main
Mira.
Mira.
Okay, make me an intimidation check against her will DC, which I will now find.
That's going to be a 15.
She doesn't have a will DC. She has a will saving throw. Yes. Cameron?
Yeah, I would use that.
Just do that? Okay. Sorry, that caught me off guard because I was expecting a different set of numbers to be there. Okay, so Mira will make a will save. So what was your roll, Emma? 15?
15.
I didn't do it. 10. You have successfully, intimidatingly glared while licking your eyeball. I hate it. And so Mira is now demoralized. That was a success, not a critical success. Therefore, she is frightened 1. Of the tiny frog person.
Hey,
the tiny electric frog person.
The tiny electric frog person.
It is a tiny electric frog person. That's not the average thing she would have dealt with.
No.
And therefore, it is intimidating.
Very.
Thanks. I hate it.
If an abnormally large frog licked its eyeball at me, I would.
Yeah. Most people would be mildly concerned by that. At least
it might not even need to be an abnormally large one. It could just be a regular.
I am a.
It just looked at you menacingly.
Small creature.
Nope, that didn't work the way I wanted it to.
And then I'm trying to figure out, is moving considered an action?
Mm-hmm.
It uses one of your actions, of which you get 3. And I assume intimidating glare only uses 1.
It uses 1. In which case?
Okay, that yellow square is because she's demoralized.
Okay. In which case, I am then going to measure this distance, 30 feet.
Okay.
35. I'm just judging because Ray of Frost is 120.
Oh, you're totally fine.
I would like to use Ray of Frost.
And assume you don't have to worry about the 2 frost giants.
Okay.
Lady Jumanji will deal with the frost giants. You deal with the other stuff. Yes, make a do the Ray of Frost, ma'am.
I'm going to do the Ray of Frost on the now demoralized Mira.
Demoralized and cold.
I'm just really gonna try and go for one thing and make her very scared. Ooh, that's going to be a 22 to hit.
Is that just versus her? It should just be versus her AC.
I have to roll to hit.
Yes, you definitely hit.
Yes, great.
And then you do 2d4 cold damage.
Yeah. That's going to be 8 damage.
Well, daggum. Okay.
Yeah.
She thinks that was quite rude. So she is no longer going to hold her action. She's going to act now.
Okay, go for it.
Let's see. See how far she can move from where she is. Cameron, I think I know the answer to this question. But as someone who is also the wielder of a great axe, I assume a great axe does not have reach.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. It's it has the sweep, but yeah, it does not have reach as one of its like attributes.
Okay, so sweep is a default characteristic of a
great axe.
So Mira will use 2 of her actions to move, and she will put herself right next to Ezek and Kerpley and Grizzlersnacks. Gribble Graps, excuse me.
You can never say his name wrong.
And I love that about it. She will make a melee attack against Ezek with her great axe. Cameron does a 13 hit. No, it doesn't.
No.
I sad now. Okay. So she got all up in your grill. And it wouldn't even have been a 13. It would have been a 12 because that would have been -1.
Yep.
From her intimidation.
You're welcome.
So it is the end of her turn. Very nice, Emma. That's deeply frustrating, and I love it.
You're welcome.
Her intimidation will decrease by 1 level, which means it will go away now. And I will be sad and hope this works out better from now on. If they can't make the purple square go away, pretend it's not there anymore. Because the token aura is being a touch uncooperative. So it now goes... So the order of initiative will now be Emma, then Mira. And now it will be Ben's turn. Ben, the lady came to say hi.
Uh-huh.
She seems friendly. I'm sure it's fine.
Let me minimize that so I can see what's going on. So we have the 3 dudes, the 4 guys to deal with.
Her and the 4 guys to deal with.
Up in the top left, or top right corner.
Yeah. Top left corner, yeah. Or top right is you're looking at it, sure. Yes.
Character right. Player
yes.
Left. Wow, this felt like theater.
Stage right, yeah.
Right, yeah.
Okay. Remind me real quick, does Pathfinder have opportunity of attacks if you leave range?
Yes, but they're not common. Like the character has to specifically have them. It's not something that like anyone can just.
Like as
everybody does.
Like as an ability. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not just a basic reaction. Cool. Yeah. Is intimidation a ranged thing? I don't believe so, because I don't want to run too far away, but I don't want to be right here.
Sure. No, and remember that it technically, well, like he said, yes, it is. It is technically still possible that she can do it. It just depends. Yeah, because not everybody can.
So what I'm going to try to do here is, I don't see a distance, but I'm going to go within 30 feet just to be safe. What's going to be 30 feet? So Grizzly's going to run out in this whole way.
Okay, in response, she is going to make an attack of opportunity.
That's fine.
Because she actually does have the ability.
Of course she does. Has she not already used a reaction, though?
No, she used 2 moves in a regular...
Does that not require an action point?
No, that would just be her reaction. Action point. Oh, good night. Taking me back about a decade there. Thank you for that. She will swing at you with a 19.
It hits, I believe. I don't think there's any way that doesn't hit. Yep, AC is 18. Okay. We don't raise any ability scores when we level up, do we?
Not to 2, no.
Boom.
I wouldn't think.
Your abilities would have gone up if you're trained in them. Yes.
Oh. Which would have happened automatically on your sheet in here, I think.
I would believe so.
Yes.
I just don't know if my hit points jumped or not.
You definitely should have gained hit points, yes.
Yeah.
I'll double check that, but yeah. I have 26 now. I think that means I jumped up.
I think so, yes.
Okay.
And it says you're currently at 16, but I'm pretty sure you guys were at full when the fight started.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. That's because 16 would have been my previous hit points before we leveled up.
There you go. Okay, so you take... she rolled a natural 1 for damage, so you take 2.
Got him.
I like it.
Got him.
Never didn't have it.
Never ever didn't have it.
I don't know how to do the plus minus on here, so we're just going to do that. And
however, that does not stop, as far as I can tell, that does not stop your movement like it does in some systems.
I'm going to invoke the new skill that I just learned and put together and made myself figure out.
Okay.
Just to, as I said, mess with you.
Sure.
Group coercion.
Excuse me. Okay.
Here, I'll see if I can send it to the chat. There we go. Okay. And I'll read it for the audience. When you coerce, you can compare your intimidation check results to the will DC of 2 targets instead of 1. It's possible to get a different degree of success for each target. The number of targets you can coerce is equal to the single number. The single action increased to 4 if you are expert. Yada 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 yada. Basically, I can try to coerce multiple people with an intimidation check
and succeed on one and fail on the other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Sick.
So each one has to do it.
Has to make the save.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so then, it's the variances can also be drastically different.
Sure. Okay.
And I'm going to use, because I also have a versatile performance class feat, I'm going to use.
Are you gonna play us a song now?
Do it.
Performance instead of diplomacy and instead of intimidation. So I'm going to use performance to do this. So I'm using performance instead of intimidation. And I am going to, you remember Sesame Street, Grover's near far? He did where he'd like run close to the camera, near, run back, yell far.
Right.
I'm going full goblin mode and like frothing at the mouth, hands in the air like Grover, and just full sprints.
Okay.
Just like 15 feet at them.
Okay. Make your so who are you trying to intimidate?
It would be the two gentlemen at the bottom.
Okay. These first two friends over here. Okay.
Yeah. So if you're counting down 1, 2, 3, 4, it'd be 3 and 4.
Sure. Okay.
Just going frothing
these two.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
I have no idea how to do this.
Now I think you just make just D20 plus your intimidation.
So it's intimidation. D20 plus intimidation?
Yeah, and then I'll make an opposed check. That won't be very good.
Okay, so we're gonna try this. Boop. I rolled a 7 with a bonus of 7, or 10 with a bonus of 7 is 17.
You get one of them. You get the bottom one.
Is there a degree of success on that? I don't remember.
That is 10 more than his save. So yes, I believe.
So that would be a critical success.
That would be a critical success.
So I'll let you figure out what that means.
That would mean he would be where was the word they used? He would be frightened 2, I believe.
Frightened 2. The number 2.
Actually, let me read group coercion to make sure I'm right about that. That is the ability it triggers. So it is an intimidation.
Yeah, but that demoralized.
But demoralized was also intimidation.
Yep.
It demoralized was an intimidation check.
Right.
This is a different. This is when you coerce.
Oh, that's true.
This is yeah. So in Pathfinder, you look for capitalized words. So like capital D demoralized means something, versus capital C coerce. That means something else.
And looking at coerce, a success. The target gives you the information you seek or agrees to follow your directives so long as they aren't likely to harm the target in any way. The target continues to comply for an amount of time determined by me, but not to exceed 1 day, at which point they become unfriendly again. However, they become too scared of you to retaliate. That is for a critical success, a regular success, but once they become unfriendly again, they may decide to act against you.
So then would this be like a suggestion?
Essentially, yes.
In the D&D world?
Yeah.
So like mixed into the frothing is run away.
And that is not at all harmful to him. In fact, it seems very positive for him. Right. So he will disappear that direction.
Hey, that's 1.
I got my 1.
Now I'm dead because I'm all by myself.
Oh, you're fine. They probably don't hit that hard. Ben, that was 2 actions,
2?
Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have anything else you can use with that last action?
2 more. Speed is what? Speed's 25.
25.
That was 5, 10, 15. And yeah, since I have cantrips, I'll throw some cantrips into that.
Just make sure your cantrips are 1 action.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw up because you had 4, I used 2, so don't I have 2 left?
No, you have 3. You have 3 actions.
You have 3 total.
Oh, 3, not 4. Okay.
Yeah. So you have 1 left.
So it's a 1. That is okay. That one is I was gonna use shield, but that is a reaction. No, it isn't.
Nope.
I can use shield block.
Preemptively block. Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was the shield reaction shield, but I can use it later as a reaction. So yeah, I'm gonna cast cantrip of shield. You raise magical shield of force. This counts using raise a shield action. Giving you +1 circumstance bonus to AC until the start of your next turn, but it doesn't require the use of a hand. While the spell is in effect, you can use shield block reaction with your magic shield. The shield has a +5 hardness. Once I use it, I can't use it again for 10 minutes.
Cameron.
And then for the audience, hardness is if you would take damage, you take that much less damage. So
the shield reduces the damage you take.
Yeah.
Instead of raising your AC, I guess, technically.
It does both.
It gives both.
+1. Yeah. It gives a circumstance bonus to AC. But then should he still get hit, he could then use his reaction to shield block.
And take less damage.
And that would then let him take less damage.
But it reduces the hardness of the shield, and eventually shields can break, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so once it happens, and once I use it, it goes away. And I can't use it again for 10 minutes. It's not
that's true. But I think with the regular
shield,
if you're using an actual physical shield, eventually it can only absorb so much damage before it breaks. Or needs to be repaired, I guess, technically. So he sets up a defensive position. Cameron, it's your turn, sir.
Yeah, sorry, and then just for clarity there, yes, shields have a separate HP pool.
Right.
Like an actual shield has an HP pool.
Thank you for clarifying that, yes.
For Emma, what kind of weapon does Kerpley have? Are you holding something that could be defined as a melee weapon?
Yes. I would most likely have easily accessible my long spear and my sling.
Okay. Do you happen to be holding the long spear?
Yes.
Okay. So what Ezek is gonna do, right now, Ezek is 1 square to the north of Kerpley. Ezek is going to use his first action to move to the other side of our fantastic friend over here. And so we're going to go over there, and that way I have flanking, which is going to give them a -2 circumstance to AC.
Okay. Nice. And she no longer has a reaction, so you can move around all over the place.
Yeah. And I'm not leaving melee range either. And
True.
So I don't remember if I have to actually leave range or if it's move around them. I know in D&D you can like loop them, which gets really weird, but like
I think in this it's a creature within your reach uses a move action.
Oh, it just uses a move action. Okay. So in that case,
does she have to have a melee weapon for flanking to count?
Yes, that's why I was asking what.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I was asking what kind of weapon Kerpley had.
Yep, spear time.
And so,
yep.
And so Ezek is going to channel magic through his great axe, and the head of the axe catches on fire as we are going to spell strike.
Love it.
Nice.
And I'm going to cast produce flame through my spell strike, and so I'm going to make a melee strike.
Strike.
This is a +8, 25.
I guess, yeah.
Is that a critical hit?
It is not a critical hit, no.
Oh.
Wait, she's at -2. No, it is still not a critical hit.
Okay. Well, that's going to make it very difficult to critical. Okay, but it is a hit, and that's what counts. So we're going to do 1d12 plus 4 slashing.
Okay.
And since I am producing flame, we're going to deal 1d4 plus 2 fire damage.
You're going to do 1d12 plus 4 and 1d4 plus 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
My D4 got stuck in my dice tower. Okay. So,
no fire damage.
Fancy way of way of saying I'm adding 6 to my roll. And so
okay.
And I'm going to deal 18 total damage.
Woof.
If you care, I can split that out for you into what type is what.
Not relevant in this case.
Okay.
But thank you.
And so from there, Ezek is Ezek is just going to grin as the fire like sweeps off of his great axe.
Love it. Super here for it. Was that all 3 of your actions?
That is all 3. Spell Strike is 2 actions.
So. Okay. Makes sense. Let's check some numbers. Ben, you made some new friends.
I bet I did.
Ben, how do we feel about 11? Okay. Move on from that.
I feel like I'm too short for you to hit me.
Like you probably are. That's a natural 1. So his he swings and misses and accidentally pokes his friend. Got him. Never didn't have it. That was the second one. So his friend takes some damage and show me a decent number. I mean, no. Okay. Sure, why not?
You touched it.
No.
They will attack again. 3 15.
Nope.
Dag nabbit. 10. Okay. 6 hits. 6 attacks. 1 hit against his friend. Good times. Okay. Good
Finally
times.
things go my way.
Love it. Since as this round ends, you hear Laquarion yell from the other room as he picks up a Black Tears bandit and throws him into 2 other Black Tears bandits. And they all go crashing through a table stacked on another table for some reason.
Get him, Laquarion.
And
to try to mimic his voice in not as cool of a way.
Tartuccio, who you have met here in the building and has kind of been following you guys around since you rescued him, is cheering for you from the other room. He is very
rightfully so.
Very proud of you. You're doing a good job. Very proud of you. I don't know if that was the voice I used last time, but it is now.
It's been a while, so
it has been a little bit. Emma, 'tis Kirpley's turn of action.
Hi, it's his turn of eye.
Electrocution time.
It's actually though,
big sad.
I am going to pull a thing I have not used yet, which I am excited to use.
Bring it on.
And I am going to use Tempest Surge on Myra. So I surround her in a swirling storm of violent winds, rolling clouds, and crackling lightning. The storm deals 1d12 electricity damage. The target must attempt a basic reflex save. On a failure, the target also is clumsy 2 for 1 round and takes 1 persistent electricity damage.
Just occasionally gets jolted. Okay.
What are the rules again for heightened stuff?
Heightened would be if you had something that allowed you to cast heightened spells, it would change your damage.
Okay.
I believe.
Cool.
So she needs to make a reflex save.
Yes.
A 15.
Okay. Primal DC is 17.
Dagnabbit. Okay. She will take full electrical damage.
Full electrical damage?
She will not save to take less.
Well, that's lame.
And I guess technically that is a failure from her save. So she is clumsy 2 for 1 round.
Yes.
If I understand correctly. So how much damage did you do?
3. On a D12.
I'm not going to complain about that.
But I am.
That's totally understandable, and you are more than welcome to. Her movements become clumsy and inexact. Always includes an exact value. You take a status penalty equal to the condition value to dexterity-based things. Dexterity-based checks and DCs, including AC, reflex saves, ranged attack rolls, and skill checks using acrobatics, stealth, and thievery. So her AC is too lower for what I assume to be 1 turn or 2. No, it should go. Well, it should go down by 1 per turn.
Just for 1 round.
Just 1 round. And you also said something about
and takes 1 persistent electricity damage.
When?
That's typically it's the start of their turn. Or end of their turn.
So it is now her turn. So she is currently clumsy 2. That doesn't prevent her from hitting Cameron, though. Or, well, that doesn't prevent her from trying to hit Cameron, though. We will now overhand smash. She raises her great axe above her head and puts all of her might into a single attack. This will use 2 of her 3 action points. Cameron, does an 18 hit?
18 does hit.
Okay. You will take an additional 8 damage, and I need you to make a fortitude save.
Okay.
As she goes kablamo. And so her 1d12 plus 1 damage has now become 1d12 plus 9 for this. So Cameron, I need you to take 17 damage.
That is a good amount of damage.
It is a lot of damage.
Welcome, Dabblage.
Okay. And then I rolled an 11 for my fortitude check. I rolled a natural 2.
Ooh.
My plus 9 fortitude.
Plus 9. Daggone, man. You actually had a very legitimate chance of making that.
Yep.
You are knocked prone.
Okay.
By her overhand smash.
So like Ezek like holds up his great axe to try to like block it, and like as he's like getting forced down, he like crumples onto the ground under the weight of her attack.
Thanks for listening to City on a Hill Gaming. If you'd like to know more, find us online at cityonahillgaming.com or by sending us an email at cityonahillgaming@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter at cityonahillgame or find us online at patreon.com/cityonahillgaming. Thanks as always to our Patreon backers, Grizzly Rich, Bryan, Sir Lord Epicname, Andrew, Christina, and Tony. We really thank you guys for everything you do to support the show, and we truly appreciate you. Thanks for listening, and have a blessed day.
I am indeed here
to
play a game of TTRPG.
Is this going to go well? Probably not. But
are we going to come together next time and Emma and Cameron are going to have new characters? Or just redo the fight? Yeah.
Ezek's brother shows up.
And
Quickly.
Dripply.
Dripply, yes. Every one of Emma's characters is just the same name with one letter changed. Slightly. It's Kerpley, but with 2 E's at the end.
Yep.
Kerpley, but with a Y instead of the first I.
It's just every variation of the name Kerpley that you can get.
You're all hatchlings from the same batch of eggs.
Yeah, we're all just the same clutch. It's just
they all grew up together.
Yes. You all grew up together.
They all have the same personality.
They're essentially just interchangeable. Yeah, you're just like, crap. Push the next one out.
It's very confusing during family reunions.
For some reason, you're also all druids.
Yep.
It's the
Finding
that
is
Nemo
part
thing.
of the backstory. Is that I come from a village.
That's true.
Druids.
That is true.
Yeah.
So yes.
Finding Nemo. This side is Marlin Jr. and that side is whatever Nemo mom's side.
Yeah. Did they ever name her?
Yes.
I don't. I'm sure. I feel like it was a trivia question that I missed, but
because I feel like that's not a movie I've seen but like one time.
Her name is Coral.
Coral. Oh, that's right. Because he yells at a bunch, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
It's definitely one of those things where it's like, if you were asked what it was,
no clue.
It's hard to recall. But if someone says it's Coral, then you're like, oh yeah, that
of course, tracks. Absolutely, like... that's the name. Okay, so I'm gonna offer you guys. Oh, that's what that miniature was there for. I mean, what?
What? Nothing happened.
Nothing happened. You saw nothing.